Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has progressed a little further in its correction, and we want to take a look at the shorter time frame here only. In the last video, I also shared with you the daily time frame. We will do that tomorrow again. So if you're interested in checking out the daily time frame with us, either watch the last video or just wait for tomorrow and subscribe. What is Bitcoin doing here? So Bitcoin is still in this correction. The forecast for the weekend was we are in a correction. I would have preferred to see a little bit more of a healthy B wave. So obviously this correction that started on Thursday was forecasted to be an ABC structure. And the challenge with any correction is obviously to determine exactly where it's going to complete. So the idea is that it's either here A, B, C, and then wave 4 is already done. Or this ABC structure, ABC, is just the larger A wave of an even larger ABC structure. I can really only, Bitcoin is sort of leading. I can only say that Bitcoin is actually holding really well, especially if you consider other coins and how close they are already to their support regions. Bitcoin is obviously leading. So Bitcoin is again holding quite well. Bitcoin has been doing that sort of throughout 2023 already. Pullbacks have been extremely shallow. Please consider that. So I'm still tracking just an ABC structure. And once this C wave is in, and it might complete a larger A wave, technically that could complete the entire correction. So it's worth watching for a potential reversal as soon as we sort of reach now this support zone there, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I think we are in a correction. We are moving down, and I think it's wise not to be too aggressive until we have a small confirmed reversal, at least on the smaller time frame. Like a nice reaction to a fib level where you can set a stop below. So the support levels that are relevant on the larger time frame for this wave 4 overall are between 61,600 and 50,360 roughly. And the ideal support is around 55,100, 55,200. Now that's the ideal support for wave 4. We don't even need to get there. So I need to be, I need to warn that you don't get too bearish. Ultimately, we are in a pullback in a bullish market. The market is still bullish. I have no evidence that it's not. Yes, on the smaller time frames, we have this correction, but that was forecasted. In this, especially in a bullish market, because we never know how deep really a pullback goes, we can only highlight the relevant support levels as long as they are holding the market. The scenarios don't change. And I gave you that support area. It's the orange one. So what does that mean? That means it's useful, very, very useful to hold a core position in this bull market. I've said it many, many times. And then, maybe selling a little bit on the way up. But as long as we are in the bull market, that core really needs to be held. And only when we have evidence that a bull market is over, that core should be sold, that core position. And then you can trade around it in a very soft way, really. I think that's what most people just need to do. Understand where is support, measure your position size and risk, and then add in support areas, okay? And add to your core position or just trade around it and then sell on the way up. So it is actually quite simple. Problem is a lot of people don't see trading as a marathon. They see it as a sprint, which is not great. So that core position, the good old core position, wins the game. My idea of the microstructure is currently that Bitcoin formed this A wave to the downside, possibly the B wave rally, and we're now coming down in wave C. And I already shared with you in the previous video where this might land, this C wave. Typically what we're watching is the 100% extension level as an ideal target. It's at 62,733, which is just above the 23.6 fib level. So I'm just saying, okay, based on this structure, the C wave should ideally reach this level. Below that, we've got 61K, which is very close to that 61,600. So there is additional Fibonacci confluence here between the 1.236 extension and the 100 extension, between 61 and basically 62.7K. And I have currently no evidence that this pullback is over. If we shoot up from here, what would be the structure? So first of all, in whatever it's doing right now, I'd like it to hold actually immediate downside resistance. So I'd like it to hold below 67,420 to complete this move down. Well, if we get a break above 67,420, then it's an early indication, not confirmation, but early indication that maybe still this B wave is resetting. That would be a flat structure. Why is that possible? Well, because the move up was in 3 waves, the move down is in 3, so it could technically still be an AB with an overshooting B wave to the downside, and then a C wave up to complete that B, and then we come down. Yeah? So that would be the nasty move, but Bitcoin is quite weak at the moment, so it's coming down more directly. But would that change really anything? Not really. At the moment, the trend is down, and the next micro support is at 64,330 and then that 62,730 level. I also gave you the level that needs to break to the upside to suggest that, yeah, possibly a B wave extension is happening. And until that happens, however, I'm looking for lower, possibly towards 62,730 next. So it was just a quick update. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also, make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.